40 years later, what's going through your mind nowadays as you look back?
Mostly it's the public being reminded of what a wonderful response we had to the challenge that we put forth for ourselves. And the benefits that we got out of that stirred the imagination, the satisfaction, and the inspiration of a whole generation that changed their objectives as to where they wanted to work, what they wanted to pursue. It was just an exciting career field, and many people who are flying airline pilots tell me that they got into that business because of the activity that was surrounding the space program. And I said, do you ever regret what you did? No, not a one of them. They just enjoy having done that. And I think the country has kind of gone through a good bit of an evolution from the 60s and 70s. Some people call it the Me Too generation. What's in it for me now? Question authority. The world has changed significantly, and I marvel at the technology that's come along since then. When people talk about the cell phone having more computing power than our Apollo guidance computer, that's kind of cute, but it doesn't do the same operational things that we were able to do. We got so much more efficiency, relaying thousands and thousands of pieces of information very quickly back down to the Earth, and knowing exactly what kind of an orbit we're in, how to navigate, make the maneuvers to get back to the Earth at a certain time, and then to turn on the engines and navigate to a soft landing on the moon, getting radar updates, and then when you lift off from the moon, you have sequences of maneuvers to be able to rendezvous. I appreciate what that is, because that's what I studied at MIT. So anyway, the advances that have come along are just mind-boggling, and they're great for the consumers, but I think they can also help the country as a whole move into areas of exploration that clearly many nations want to do that sort of thing, and it's a measure of the vitality of a nation and their ability to manage major projects, bring together the cutting edge of technology, of education, of industry, of production, of safety, reliability. All these things also have their parallels in national security. So there's a natural parallelism between having a very strong, vibrant exploration program and having a defense of our nation from rogue incursions, whether they're in the way of threatening assets of all nations that have satellites up there. They're going to collide into each other unless these things that are put up there have a prescribed end of mission recovery, and we haven't enforced things like that. So there are a number of international agreements, rules of the road maybe, that in addition to working together on the space station to establish a camaraderie among the different people and share the assets, it's been a little overbalanced in our contributions. And I would hate to see other nations, like right now there's a mission called Phobos Grunt. Phobos is the moon around Mars. And Grunt means soil or soil return. It's a soil return mission, and there's a Chinese satellite that's going to be orbiting Mars, bringing back information, and they are working together with the French, and we're not a part of that. Sure, we have rovers on the surface, but we're not doing the preparatory things to begin to have the pathways open up for human settlement, occupancy of the surface of Mars. clear, more attractive location in the solar system than the surface of the moon. If we want to do something on the moon, we can control the robots that are on the moon. We can go and fix things and then come back again. Or if other nations have their people up there, they can help to fix things. But the question is, what is the major return from having people on the moon? Is it setting up lunar oxygen so that you can refuel ways to go to the moon, to get lunar oxygen to go to the moon, to get lunar oxygen to go to the moon? Where does that benefit people back on the Earth?
Right.
And what's the market value of that? Well, my suggestion is to establish refueling locations in low Earth orbit and even in the vicinity of the moon, because it's a regular place that can dispense fuel to objects in higher energy orbits that are going not to the moon but to somewhere else. So we can establish the market value of Earth propellants to add to and supplement what the size of the booster will allow. You don't necessarily have to have as big a rocket if other people can market, and you can turn that into a commercial activity of depositing fuel up there and then marketing it to somebody else. And you establish the value. Then it says, well, now if I really want to go to the moon, I've got to share all the expenses of going to the moon to compete with the Earth activities.
Gotcha.